Hi all, how are you? Most of you know me now at this stage. My name is Adrian Lenhan, founder of Recovery Coach. I'd just like to welcome you all to this Christmas episode special that we're doing today. And I would also like to tell you what we're going to speak about. We're going to speak about everything addiction, everything mental health, and everything family support. And I'm delighted to have David here again today with us.
Back for episode 2. So
Yeah,
should we straight into it?
yeah,
Christmas week.
yeah. I suppose first of all, Dave, we got an absolute unbelievable. I suppose people were great feedback about the podcast, so I thought it was very, that we do one now straight away, really coming up to Christmas.
Definitely.
Because Christmas can be a very difficult time of year for people, besides addiction,
It's
in
heavy for
general
people.
life.
When the people lose people, like I lost my granddad Christmas Day, and I know a couple of people that are after losing family members already in the build up to Christmas, like, so it does get heavy, like.
It can be a big,
Yeah.
lonely time, Christmas time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Christmas week, New Year's. Trying to stay off the drugs, the drink. So I'll have other family members that might be going a bit mental around Christmas.
Yeah, big time. I suppose people in active addiction this time of year, David, whatever it is, they go mad. They brings up a lot of emotion around Christmas time, and I suppose when you're drinking and drugging this time of year, everything is geared up to have money for drinking drugs, to have drugs on the table, and just everything is surrounded around drinking drugs, and for people in recovery, it can be very difficult. Especially when families are drinking around your loved ones when you're in recovery, and I suppose there's a lot of attention to Christmas, a lot of everything around Christmas surrounds drinking drugs nowadays, pubs, everyone is going to the pub drinking and so on and so forth, so Christmas can be very challenging
I think that's all that Christmas is known for nowadays, like, it's just drinking sessions and staying out late, 12 pubs.
big time.
That's all it's known for. Like, it's not going Christmas shopping or going to see Santa anymore. There's not much of that unless you really have young kids.
Yeah,
If you're growing up, it's more, where's the next session, where's the next pub, what are we going to do? It's that kind of make it fun and stay out late until all hours of the morning kind of thing, like.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose the 12 pubs, David, especially in my hometown, the night before Christmas Eve, right? The whole town is going out doing 12 pubs, and they have one drink in every pub or whatever, what's wrong with it, and they wake up the next day and they're dying, and they're able to get on with their normal life, whatever. But if I was doing it, or you were doing it, we'd continue on Christmas Eve, no matter what way
Straight
we were
into New
feeling,
Year's,
straight
I'd say,
into
yeah.
it, into New Year's, yeah.
Definitely.
So, like, yeah, like, to answer your question, really, David, Christmas is geared up around drink. Like, it really is. It's commercialised to the max. Every Christmas TV ad, the whole lot. So it's everywhere in your eyes,
Even the
Absolutely.
offers of the shops, like, that they catch people. You walk in the door and there's not much of a slab of Coca-Cola or Fanta anymore. Like, it's straight into the Bulmers or the Heineken, and you could just see the offers that catches people's eyes. People are like, yeah, I'll take one of them home. Like, and I think that's wrong as well in a way. Like,
Oh, big time, absolutely. Like, it's just everywhere. It's trying to draw you in, like, do you know what I mean? Absolutely draw you in. It's the same with gambling addiction. If you see the ads, it's trying to draw you in.
every second ad on the TV this day is a gambling ad.
Yeah. So, like, it's out there really, and in my opinion, David, like, people don't realise what addiction does to families. For the normal Joe Soap looking at this podcast today, they don't realise what addiction does to families. It absolutely tears families apart. Gambling addiction, drink, drugs, shopping addiction, any addiction tears families apart, and I think it's an absolute disgrace that people are putting up ads left, right, and centre this time of year. Really,
It's always going to happen. Look,
yeah.
the bigger companies need to make their money. Like, they don't care who they hurt once their pockets full of Christmas. Like,
That's exactly it.
That's the main thing about
That's exactly
it.
it. Yeah.
Other than that, mental health around Christmas as well is a big thing.
Absolutely, mental health is really is even my own mental health this time of year, David, goes a bit.
Mine goes the same. Like, I lost my granddad Christmas Day, and I lost my uncle to suicide Stephen's Day a couple of years later. Christmas Day for me has always been about knocking myself into the abyss with fucking a half ounce of coke and a load of gas. This year it's not, no.
Good man.
Hopefully going for the first sober Christmas.
Well
I
done.
wouldn't mind it, I'd love it. And it is going to be a challenge to try and stay away from it up until Christmas and up until New Year's, because they were the two lads were a big part of my life, like,
Okay.
They were my best friends, like,
And what are your plans this Christmas?
Stick around the small one and the missus,
Okay.
you
My advice to you would be make it about them this year, David,
Yeah,
not about
definitely,
you,
100%, yeah.
and show what recovery can do, bring it into the home this year, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
fair play to you. You know, your first sober Christmas. My first sober Christmas, Dave, I caused wreck. Do you really want to know the truth? And this is a story that I often share about. But I suppose Christmas Day, I was missing the drink, missing the drugs. I was sitting at home in my family home and I wrecked the Christmas dinner. My brother and his wife had to leave the house because of my behaviour. I wasn't right myself, you know. No one speaks about the first 12 months of sobriety, and you're probably going through it now, that how difficult it is and how hard it is to change your behaviours and change who you are.
Yeah.
But I really destroyed my first family Christmas, and I went up to the meeting Christmas night and everyone was joyful and cheerful, and I was destroyed. All I wanted to do was out drinking and drugging, Dave. And no one speaks about how hard sobriety can be. But 12 years, 14 years later, I can enjoy Christmas. I shut off, but I enjoy it in my own little bubble. I enjoy Christmas Day. I enjoy being up at Mass Christmas Eve. And I suppose the Carol of the Bells coming on our holy night and I'm gone. Because all the emotions of the last 12 months, Christmas is a time to reflect as well. And check in wherever you're at, you know. And every Christmas Eve at Mass I cry. And I that's as honest to come, because I reflect over the last 12 months and it's an emotional time of year. And, you know, I suppose that's what I do since I'm sober, Dave. You know, I'm in my bubble, but I can feel my emotions coming up this time of year. My disease, no, it's Christmas. But all I do is go to support groups over Christmas.
Yeah.
And I stay close to people that are in recovery, David, because they want what's best for me and I want what's best for them, you know.
And that is a good way to do it, as you said, drown yourself in people that are winning and support around the place, like, because if you sit away on your own, you're sitting away in the house, your head's going to get the better of you.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 it's always going to. No
Yeah.
matter how strong you think you are, all it needs is one bad thought or one thing to go wrong in your day,
Yeah.
and you're ringing somebody up for the next fix or going to the shop for the next drink, and you're back to square one then again. And you could be thrown multiple months or years away for what, a couple of hours of torture,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, like you touched on it there, like isolation is a huge thing for people over Christmas Day, you know. And as I said, Christmas can bring up an awful lot of emotions, but my advice to people out there tonight that are feeling isolated is pick up the phone, ring someone, even if it's Samaritans or recovery coach for a chat, you know. Ring and talk to someone. If you've no family members, go to a neighbour and talk to people, you know. And like, if anyone's out there tonight that is in recovery or is struggling and thinking of going drinking and drugging, like, you know, it took me 7 years of in and out from picking up one drink and drug to get back into recovery, you know. And I wouldn't recommend it. It's just to hang in there and hold on, you know. Everything passes.
It is, and even if it is a struggle, it is worth it in the end, because sobriety is way better than struggling and waking up and having thousands over your head around Christmas and not being able to buy a present. And that's what I've had the last couple of years, like, you know, being in debt, constant chasing the fucking money to pay fellas off and not being able to buy any family members Christmas presents, like, you know. And it's something I regret. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling, like, you know. Makes you feel that small bit less of a man at Christmas time, that you can't even get your little sister or your brother a Christmas present because you're after showing it all up your nose, or you're after drinking it all, or gambling it all, like. And that's not what Christmas is about, like, you know.
No, but this year's going to be different.
Completely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get it, David, because I did the same. Like, there was Christmases that I didn't buy my mother and father presents, you know, or it wasn't about them, it was all about me and what are they getting me, and all I wanted was money for drinking drugs. And I can identify with that, what you're saying, but you're owning it there and you're able to say, David, that you didn't do it. But this year you're going doing it. That's the magic of recovery.
Completely different this year, yeah. And that is what recovery has given me. No, it hasn't all been smooth and swell this year. Like, it's been up and down. And it's been up and down because of my own fuck-ups, basically. Like, you know.
But what's the one thing I always say to you, David, and say to everyone that uses our service?
Just keep coming back.
Keep getting up. Keep getting up and trying and trying and trying, because you're so worth it.
Yeah.
You really are worth it, David, to get recovery, do you know what I mean?
100%.
And you're doing it today, and that's the most important thing, do you know what I mean?
What else would we like to touch on?
I suppose, David, like, we've a family service and we've a WhatsApp group, and I can see an awful lot of families struggling with loved ones in addiction, and my biggest advice to anyone out there that is struggling with a loved one in addiction is to tell them you love them, because life is short. tell him you love him and care, because from the addict, from my perspective, I felt completely unloved growing up. And that's why an addict uses 70% of the time, is because they felt unloved. Tell them you love them, because life is short, you know. Life is really, really short. And like, I just want to touch base on a few things, really, David. Like, you know, recovery opens up the gates of heaven, and addiction is jail. You know, I'm 14 years sober today, and you're flying it, right? But the one biggest thing that recovery has given me is freedom. I can walk past the pub, I can walk past the gambling shop, I can walk past the drug dealer on the street, and I don't think of drinking drugs. It's the biggest miracle, right? I never thought I'd be able to stay sober through Christmas, through Easter, through Paddy's Day. They've all come and go, and they all come to pass. So my biggest advice to anyone out there tonight is hold on, pain ends, you know.
Yeah.
So have you anything you want to touch base with?
Not much really. It's just biggest thing in my own experience is Christmas time in general. The last 11 years I've thrown myself into the abyss at Christmas time since I've lost my nan and my granda, and I'd say I kind of used their death as an escape, as a reason to use, which isn't fucking nice. It's not, like, but it's the way my head went with it. Like, you know, I was so young when I lost them. I was 14 when I lost them. Started picking up a joint. Started smoking around school and stuff. Even before school, started drinking, and I think it kind of just snowballed from there.
Okay.
Snowballed. So I think every Christmas for me, because I lose my granddad on Christmas Day, was just to have everything sorted 2 or 3 days before Christmas, whether it was a quarter or a half ounce or a couple of tablets, and just go in, have the Christmas dinner, and sneak away off into the room saying playing the PlayStation or something, and just knock myself out into the abyss. So it was that way.
Okay. And like, Christmas time does that to you, but this year, as I said to you earlier on the podcast, you need to think you're a small one this year.
Definitely.
And
And I know that she's older as well, and she understands Christmas a lot more. Like, when we're passing the shops there now, and say, like, for example, out in Douglas Court, they have the snow, or they have the little reindeers up on top of the roof, the Christmas decorations. She's able to point them out and say, oh, look, Rudolph's on the roof and stuff. And, you know, it's kind of bringing a smile back into my heart. It's kind of give me that warmth around Christmas again. Or I'm getting me little smile back and a little spark back. Like, I love seeing the smile on her face. So that in itself is enough of a sign just to say, look, what's the point in going away getting a bag for a couple of hours to sleep off then on Stephen's Day and ruin their Stephen's Day and not go anywhere for the day. Like, I'm glad that she's that bit older this year and she's understanding Christmas, because it's keeping me on the straight and narrow for Christmas. I'm not going away to use, because when, like, for the last 2 years she was young, she didn't understand it. I was just leaving Lauren take care of her, and I was going away doing my own thing, which isn't nice, and it was disrespectful to Lauren. But this year she has that little sense around Christmas, and she knows what's going on, and I love that. Like, it's a laugh and a joke, it's a smile. Like, you know, she's able to crack jokes in the car, and she's bringing a smile back to me and Lauren for Christmas, which is lovely. Like,
that's priceless, David.
Yeah, priceless, really completely, priceless. Yeah,
absolutely priceless. And try to enjoy it, David. You
Definitely,
know?
Yeah.
Try to enjoy it this year. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know what else we can talk about, but I suppose, David, one thing I want to touch on base this year is the casino in Bandon.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't go ahead.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't go ahead. But like, at the end of the day, the man that was running the business was a human being, and he rang me the following day, been upset on it, you know. So it's a massive boost to our tongue in West Cork that it didn't go ahead, you know. But I just want to lay out that man was a businessman at the end of the day, and he was trying to open up a business, you know. But it was a big achievement of recovery.
That is the unfortunate thing about it. And now, I don't know, did he get any abuse from people? Like, some people will get abusive in that kind of situation regarding their hometown. But as you said, he's a businessman, and it was a business opportunity to open up a vacant building and make money. And that's what he would have made. He would have made his money off it.
Yeah.
But he, like, in retrospect, then you're ruining somebody else's life, and he doesn't see that side of it. And, like, or he mightn't fully understand that side of it, that you're ruining somebody else's life by opening up a casino.
Completely.
They're dark inside, they're black, the machines, the noise, they all draw you in, and you sit there for hours. And
Completely.
by the time you know, you could go in there with a week's wage, you could walk out there with fucking 70 cents left or something. Like, if it's happened before, I've done it before, you've done it before, it's It's a gimmick. It's basically what it is. It's a gimmick.
Absolute gimmick, yeah, and it could take it to a level that you never ever experienced. Like, people don't realize that you could lose your house in one bet online of a tap of a button. Number two, you could walk into a betting shop and have every intention of walking out with money, and you could be in there till 9 o'clock at night and walking out with nothing. And that, it's so secretive and it's so mental what gambling addiction can do. It's frightening. I've never seen an addiction like it.
You'll see an addiction on somebody's face if it's a substance or it's alcohol.
Yeah.
I've sat there for nights getting paid €700 or €800 from the trade I was working, and gambled 4, made 4 or 5, and then lost all 7 of it in the one night. Been up and down. It's just the same repetitive cycle. I remember, was it 2022? I was going away to watch West Ham were playing away to United, and they had about €200 or €300 to go. I gambled it the night before, won 14.5 grand. That 14.5 grand lasted 3 weeks. By the time I got to Manchester, I was already after spending £800 on an ounce, and I blacked out over there the same weekend. I didn't even see the game. I can show you pictures of my eyes, but I didn't even see the game. I ruined it by gambling. Now I won so much money that I was like, fuck it, I'll go away. And I was 14 months off the coke at that time. I was still gambling, still drinking. So when I went over, I just, fuck it, I'll take the bag. There wasn't one bag, it was an ounce of it, and completely ruined it. 3 weeks, I think I gambled another 3.5 grand then when I went over there in the casino. 3 weeks it lasted. That could have went to a car, could have went to paying off her car insurance, could have went to a holiday, could have went to anything useful for me, herself and the child. And it was just the same sickness of the addiction. What can I use it on? What can I waste it on? Didn't buy clothes, didn't buy anything nice. Just went back into the gambling, went back into the bookie's pocket, went back into the dealer's pocket, and it was wasted within 3 weeks.
Unbelievable what addiction does. Unbelievable.
Madness, yeah.
Rips you, like. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's not like that anymore, David.
It's not, no.
No, fair play to you. And I want to just ask one question to you, and you might ask me the same back, right? What was your worst experience in addiction?
Fuck it, there's been many. Worst? So it's probably that video I showed you of the night I spent in the Mercy. Well, the 2 nights I spent in the Mercy. When
you were in the psychosis at the time,
the psychosis, yeah, when herself came home, and I'd say I was close. It was only a couple of hours away from overdose, and like I was stuck on the couch. My finger beds were blue, the toenails were blue, my lips were blue, underneath my eyes were blue. I could not move. I was fucked. I think I was on it for 6-7 days, and I think my body just started shutting down. Went down. She brought me down to the Mercy, and I did not racially abuse the staff inside there. They were only trying to help me. They were only trying to give me an IV drip, only trying to give me oxygen, only trying to help me. Didn't want the oxygen mask, didn't want the IV drip, started ripping it all out, taking it all off, wanting to walk back out and use again. And all they were doing, all they had was my care, my best care I had. So all they had, they just wanted to help me, and they just did nothing but racially abuse the staff that was in there. And you know, it's horrible. Like, it's not nice, and I regret saying what I said, because she has all the videos of what I said, and it was horrible. Like, the way I was an animal.
I seen that video, David.
It's not nice, like, yeah.
You're sitting here today, and I have to say, compared to then, I as I said, I seen the video, and you were in an awful state. Like, and if you're ever thinking of picking up a drink or a drug or a bet, just look at that. Yeah. Because where it brought you and where it can bring you is unbelievable. Like, you were gone mentally.
Yeah, completely.
And some people don't come out of that, David, and you're lucky to be standing here tonight. But well done.
I've known a lot of buddies that haven't come out of it, and it's not nice when you see them when you see them lose their life to this sickness. Like, it's not like,
unbelievable.
And there's so many people
they're dropping like flies
this year. A lot.
Yeah.
Like, not going to mention the name, but there was somebody that was in treatment with, and he lost his life only a couple of weeks ago. Like, and it's not nice to see. Like, you know,
he couldn't get it. He couldn't get recovery,
and that's
the scary thing about it. You know,
yeah.
I always say it. The doctor out taking cocaine tonight, or a solicitor, and they come into recovery. Some of them don't get it, and they're the brainiest people in the world. And like, recovery is so simple when you put your mind to it. You know, and people that with brains and with scholarships can't get recovery because addiction has them.
And that's another thing as well around addiction that I never really kind of grasped, is people that don't know anything about addiction, or haven't had a loved one or a partner or a friend that's in addiction. I think it's only all the common scumbag, the way they label it, you know. People that will hang around in council estates or places like that, they think that they're the only people using drugs. They're not. Like, as you
No.
said, there'll be lawyers, be TDs, there'll be stuff like that, they'll be all using drugs. Like, you know,
Do
it's
you know
all over the place.
The
like.
country, David, is in denial about cocaine. Do you know, it's cocaine is nearly as normal to go and get a bag of weed now. Like every pub in Ireland over Christmas will have one person using inside there at least. It is absolutely destroying our country. It's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. The normal 21-year-old young fella going out now drinking, David, it is normal to get a bag of coke with a few pints as getting a bag of sweets.
We were out at the doors recently, and I think it was up Cathedral Road. I was talking to a lovely old woman, and she didn't understand it, but she was asking about the calendars and about what we do, and she was asking about how easy it is to get drugs. I said I could take up my phone now and I could make 3 phone calls and I could have it dropped me for you.
That's how
Make 2 or 3 phone calls, and it's as easy as getting a bag of sweets or a bag of sweets going into the shop.
you explained that brilliant to the normal person out there, Dave, because that's how easy it is.
2 or 3 phone calls. Whether someone's not around us, you could ring one person, they might be around. You could ring the next person, they could say, "I'll be there in 10-15 minutes." It's that
scary.
quick. It is. It's really scary.
Absolutely scary.
Completely.
What is your favourite moment about your since you got sober and clean? What was your favourite thing about getting clean and sober since you had?
Oh, well, it was something the nuns.
They do great work.
Unbelievable work.
I was there twice. Well done.
Unbelievable work. We were up in Knock with the nuns themselves, with the sisters, and it was lovely. But I was able to bring Lauren and herself up there. Lauren and the small one up there, and it was an amazing weekend. You know, this weekend just full of peace. Went up to Galway. We stayed in Galway, and I love Salt Hill because I have a great connection with Salt Hill with my nan and granddad that passed. Lord rest them. That was their holiday destination, so we went into Salt Hill, and you know what, we actually sat in the pram, pitch black at about 9 o'clock at night eating ice cream. That was peaceful. You know, just not a care in the world. I didn't know anybody money. Didn't have anybody chase me for money. So I was able to sit down with my daughter, my partner, and just enjoy the weekend. And then we went up to Knock the next day, and it was a lovely drive. It was sunny. Drive up the N17, look at all the old stone walls and stuff, and spent the day going around Knock, and it was beautiful. You know, it was a great weekend.
Wow.
It's probably one of the most powerful things I've had in recovery so far. It was unbelievable.
You described what a day of sobriety is, and you described what a day like an addiction is. Powerful, Dave. Well done. Fantastic. That's sobriety, what you just explained. So have you any questions for me before I finish up about recovery coach or anything? Or
Yeah, well, as people know, we have big plans for next year. So, but as you post on the Facebook, and I think people need to know it, people that don't see the Facebook, people that might just see the podcast instead on Spotify, is that the helpline is open 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's going to remain open through Christmas, which is a huge help for people.
Massive, yeah. Our helpline is open, lads, 24 hours a day. You can call it on 087 608 9148. And, you know, I suppose before we finish up, I just want to say I wish everyone a happy Christmas, and recovery coach is there for you. We believe in every single one of you that you can get recovery. And I'd like to wish you a happy new year. And have you anything else to add, Dave?
Not much, yeah. I wish everyone a great Christmas and a happy new year, and I hope everyone stays safe around Christmas. And if you are in recovery or trying to get recovery, just hang it out, tough it out, because it does get better.
Big time.
Definitely.
So happy Christmas to you, David.
And to you too.
And have a good one. And thanks very much.